Okay, we are reading from The Manipulated Mind by Denise Wynn. We are in Chapter 1, the introduction, and this will finish off that chapter. What might now in the 80s seem an academic argument has instead become of new relevant interest in the light of the recent proliferation of religious cults whose members many claim are brainwashed into joining. In March 1981, an English High Court jury decided that the Mooney cult does brainwash people, the word was used, after hearing an action brought by the cult against the Daily Mail newspaper, which had printed allegations about the church that breaks up families. The court case has again focused attention on the concept of coercion, unwitting or otherwise, of unsuspecting people. All the old questions have once again been asked. What exactly is brainwashing? Is it possible to force any thinking person to adopt a lifestyle completely alien to his assumed inclinations? How does brainwashing differ from indoctrination or from the equally insidious influencing effects of advertising or the educational system? Or are they perhaps all the same thing? Analysis of the concept brainwashing has been made difficult by the fact that it has never really been accepted as a technical word. The graphic image created by Hunter was perhaps no more than an impressionistic sketch passed down over the years to be embellished or erased according to predilection. For some, the picture has very specific component parts, without all of which it could not be seen as a whole. For others, it is a blurred canvas, and all of human life is hidden there. Such a malleable concept can only arouse fear, contempt, or confusion. According to one's definition of the word, one believes in it or one doesn't. Robert Lifton, who made an investigative study in Hong Kong of a number of Western and Chinese civilians whom the Chinese had tried to convert to communism after the revolution, and published his findings in Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism, makes a very valuable point in his introduction. Behind this web of semantic and more than semantic confusion lies an image of brainwashing as an all-powerful, irresistible, unfathomable, and magical method of achieving total control over the human mind. It is of course none of these things, and this loose usage makes a rallying point for fear, resentment, urges towards submission, justification for failure, irresponsible accusation, and for a wide gamut of emotional extremism. One may justly conclude that the term has a far from precise and questionable usefulness. One may even be tempted to forget about the whole subject. Yet to do so would be to overlook one of the major problems of our era, that of the psychology and ethics of directed attempts at changing human beings. For despite the vicissitudes of brainwashing, the process which gave rise to the name is very much a reality. Several psychological experts who examined the American soldiers who were repatriated from Korea concluded that brainwashing was not a new technique, but the clever combination of many, each familiar and comprehensible on its own. This present book, aided by the more recent findings about human behavior that have emanated from the field of psychology, aims to look at those processes which in some have variously been described as brainwashing, to see how each individually operates to influence us all in our daily lives. How far does doctrination, conditioning, need for social approval, emotional dependency, and much else prevent us from being as self-directed as we like to imagine? Demystifying brainwashing, the ultimate change process, can perhaps serve to highlight much about the workings of the ordinary human mind. For the factors that can be combined to force such sudden change are perhaps equally responsible in their various combinations, and unconsciously over time for the formation of our characters in the first place. It may make us question the foundations instead of the facade. I am grateful to all the authors of the many books on brainwashing, indoctrination, and conditioning that are reviewed in the following pages, and should like to recommend the reader to the full bibliography at the back of this book, as all make fascinating reading. And that ends the introduction to the book. And in the next video we will pick up with chapter 2, entitled Brainwashing. See you there.